This was my attempt at Ferrari Grand Prix Challenge a few hours ago. The audio is me right now, but not live to the race. So I didn't have the mic or the camera on when I was doing it. I think at this point I was trying to look up what the timing was again, because even though I've done multiple times, I keep forgetting. Yep, that was alright. Soft reset and then a hard reset. Well, I just noticed it's clipping the bottom of my window. I usually have that disabled, but Nestopia's options changed on me. You also know what? We'll put it about right there. No, maybe a little bit quieter. There we go, that's probably fine. So, yeah, I studied Joseph H. Tobin Jr.'s run and Nes Cardinality's run. Joseph H. Tobin Jr. has something around a 118 flat, and NESCAR's times on here. The courses that they did, neither of them did the first two courses, and I do the first two. And the reason why I do them is because I felt really good about being able to win. And in my head, the way forward, the way to possibly challenge and get the world record is to play races that I can win. And it's just that. It's just the case that slightly longer races seem to do that. I have more time to compensate if things go haywire. I don't have to rush to pass people. At a 118, that's pretty good for qualifier. And again, on this course, and also Brazil and a few others, for whatever reason, my lap time can get a lot higher, so I can qualify higher, which means less people to pass, and these trash cars are like just net negatives to have to deal with. The more I have to deal with, the more likely I am to just crash into one of them. So getting past them as soon as possible is pretty important. So. I had the audio turned off completely on my computer, so I was just recording it to OBS, because the music in the game is kind of frustrating to listen to. Some of the songs aren't very good, and it was annoying me while I was playing the game. Look, second place, and we're still in the first lap. And now we're in first place. This track and Spain, I think, are my two, like, what I consider the two easiest, but they're also very long. And as a result, I end up eating some extra time here. I can even look on the best splits there. Like the 758 is my best split. 807 is the one I actually finished. But if you look down, Monaco is 706. Mexico and France are 733 and 741, and I hadn't won any of those races. They were just faster by virtue of them being shorter tracks. So I lose something like a minute doing this. This one. But it's just easier to do. So, easier to get out in front, so I'm not losing a bunch of time and I'm not potentially losing points. Because my idea was, Tobin did 10, NESCAR did 9. Tobin got 54 points, NESCAR got 53. I was aiming my goal, the run we did before, which I got a 118 in, but did not actually finish. I didn't get enough points. I think I had 44, and the winner had 70 or something. Hey, Starful, you're right, I did. And then a couple hours later, I decided to try it again. Pretty mad at myself for how it went, so I decided to try it again. And that's what this is. This is a VOD. I'm not playing this live. I said I was eventually going to beat it, and I was going to do it offline because I didn't feel like this deserved my on-stream attention. This is making me mad, and I don't like getting mad. I'm not great at restraining rage, and I consider that to be a character flaw of mine. Like, some people can get angry, and because it's on stream, you know, it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek. Like, they are angry, but then they realize it's entertainment or whatever. I get angry, and then I just get angry at being angry. So, this is a long run. But when I did my run before, I did 8 courses and got to a 118. So I did one less than NESCAR. I did a lot worse points-wise. Because I won 2 races and got a bunch of 3rds and 4ths. So my plan coming in is, like, my goal is to do 7. Because there were 4 tracks I was pretty sure I could win in. America, Brazil, Monaco, Portugal, and Spain. But if I can get 4 of those 5 and then finish second in 3 others, that is 58 points, which is probably enough to win. It might not be. But I thought I would kind of play it by ear and see where the points were going late if I wanted to throw in another race. Even though, because we had done Belgium before, I think I'd kind of mentally written off Belgium to replace it with Italy. Because Belgium is, I finished second in it before, but it's a little bit longer than Italy. Just picking Italy itself would save about a minute, time-wise. And I just had faith that if I was a little bit more calm during the run, that would work out. Look at this lead. Just absolute annihilation. I don't think I've ever played this track that well, and you'll see here in this gold split. I was at 8-second gold, and 16 seconds better than my previous best run. Now, the advantage of Brazil, it is pretty long. The 4 longest courses are in order of Spain, Portugal, Brazil, and America. So I actually am planning to do 4 of the longest courses. And which is not great. Again, you could do better than this if you pick other courses, but I wanted to pick ones I was more reliable to win. The difference in doing shorter course is maybe a minute. And I felt like the gap that I have, like even the route that I did last time, if I just did all the courses well, I would have been able to beat the world record. But I didn't, and I didn't want to rely on that being the only thing. So... And again, I'm position 14. There's only a handful of tracks you can qualify this high on. I don't really know why. But bad qualifying is gross, because then you end up with trash cars like that who get in your way and drive tremendously too slow to be of any factor in the race. And this song is awful. Yeah, and see, I'm already raging at this point. I cut a corner a little too early to not hit a car, and then another car just rams me from behind. Hey, Trav. But I'm getting better at getting past the trash cars. Like, that was something that I knew I would have to get better at immediately, or I was going to suffer playing this game, you know, more than I already have been. My goal is to, if we do well enough, we could try to do 7 races. If I could win 5, 2 second places would get me 62 points, which I think is enough to win. Again, Tobin won with 54, the next highest had 52. NASCAR won at 53, the next highest had 50. So my chance to, I'm aiming higher, because honestly, every single time I've done this, the computer has scored a lot more than that, and I think relying on that sort of score for an hour-long run to possibly have to reset because the computer rolled, you know, too good, would be pretty depressing. But we've made it all the way up to second place. Again, we're not going to do all the races, so... Like the next one's San Marino. I'm just going to qualify, fail to qualify, and then go to the next one. We'll be doing that for more than half of them. So my plan is actually win America, win Brazil, win Monaco, try to get second in Mexico, second in France. And then, if I don't feel ahead at this point, like doing well enough, I'll do Italy. Try to get some points out of Italy because it's pretty quick. It's only 1:06 for the qualifying time, which is one of the shortest tracks from a speed aspect. And it's reasonably easy to pass people. I just haven't been successful there for whatever reason. And there I hit the oil. The stupid oil, once every lap after the first lap, there's just oil randomly on the track, and I get complacent and don't think to look for it. And there's actually multiple times where I'm looking at something off screen or like itching my face or something, and I just run into an oil spill. But also I just run into them because they're kind of everywhere. But yeah, so the idea was win, second, and then 2 more wins late, Portugal and Spain, and if things didn't go particularly well, beforehand, I would pop in Italy to boost the points in a quicker race. So I would save. What I have here is doing Italy instead of Belgium. I think I would save about a minute. So from 118, I'd be about a 117. And just racing better, I assumed I would get at least 2 more minutes. So I'm not trying to obliterate this world record. I just want to excuse me, I just want to never play it again. As I was saying before, I don't like this game very much. And the reason why is just the way that the computer cars drive. It's more difficult to pass them than it makes sense. They will beeline at you in a way that you both will wreck, but they will receive no damage, but your car will take damage, and I don't like that sort of thing. At least in a racer like this, if you're going to play a game like Road Fighter, which has, you know, some similar things with people swerving around and stuff, like, or bump and jump, you run into that, like, that's not a game that's trying to be very realistic, but this is a game that is. So it offends me on multiple levels. So this Brazil is not amazing. It took me a while to get out in front. So I didn't quite... Like, you lose seconds when you have to constantly slow down for other people. So I think from an 853, I think I still get a sub 9 here. Like, look, there's 2 oils. There's the third! It waited forever on that third oil. I was such a jerk. I ended up going off track to make sure I didn't hit it. Which, just going off track a little bit to avoid oil is better. If I you know, hit a sign or something, that's not better. My car has taken enough damage now that the tires are... I'm really sliding. Like, I can tell in this big turn up here. Normally, I don't have to slow down, and I do to not fly off the track. So, I don't know. I have it in my head there's like 3 stages of tire wear. The first one, you know, you get a little slippery. The second one starts to get really bad. And the third one, I'll literally tell you to change tires. And that's when things go really bad, so. Alright. San Marino. Hey Dave, thank you, but this is not live. This is a VOD from earlier. After I got mad and like threw my controller and banned somebody because they were mocking me, and well, he told me to get good, and I was like, you know what? I unbanned him later. Alright, well, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not gonna pause the stream for you, though. But you can see, I'm talking about just racing better, that I would save a couple of minutes. We're short 16 seconds after 2. And yeah, I'm slowing down now because I purposely went to get over 110, and I cut this so close! There's no reason for me to cut it this... I mean, there's speed reasons to cut it that close, but... There, I saved a little over 2 seconds by barely finishing in time. So, on our big run before Monaco was where we flopped. This is on my list of races I need to win. I mean, I don't 100% have to, but they're ones I know I can. Any race where you can start in the teens helps you. It just gives you so many opportunities to get out front. And this is one of them. America, Brazil, Monaco, and Spain. Thank you for the 22 bits. I like that. It's close. Also, these are not sunglasses. Well, it's Pikachu, you know. But it's a yellow rat. What's he gonna look like? Well, congratulations on receiving the Superca badge. An idiot who doesn't know how to put on glasses. It kind of looks like he's so shocked that his glasses are flying off of his head, since they're like angled the same way he's looking. Like he's so shocked the glasses are just going to it. I can appreciate that. Ah, see? There we go. This is where the game gets bad. The trash cars, you start hitting them, and it damages your car, and then you can't do the turns as well, and then you have to deal with the top cars not being able to go as fast, but... I don't know. If you wreck one car, like, you wreck once before you get to 4th place in the first lap, I don't feel too bad about that. Yeah, I do want to point out, though, that the Pikachu is actually wearing scuba goggles. Or swim goggles. Probably not scuba certified. I have worn them before swimming. They were not everything I had hoped and dreamed they would be, but they weren't. They're sun polarized. Actually, when we had the solar eclipse happen, was that last year? I think it was last year. I remembered that they're polarized, and so I actually got some sunglasses. I put on the goggles, then I put on the sunglasses over top the goggles to go out and look, and I assumed that would be enough. And now I'm blind. No, my eyes hurt a little bit after that, but I think that was kind of everyone. So, I don't feel any more blind than I was then, but I'm still not sure it was a good idea. It was not the life-altering experience I expected it to be. It was more like, hey, that's pretty cool. And then as soon as it started moving away, I was like, alright, I'm done. I'm out. And, you know, other people around, I was gonna go out my back door, like literally not even go outside, but there were people just out back, like, everywhere in this apartment complex, just like, just lounging around and, you know, smoking and drinking, and I was like, it's like the afternoon, guys. And I decided I'd rather take my chances going out the front door than deal with them. Oh, psych! Suck it, blue car. And we're in first. It took to almost the end of lap 3, and then we hit something. But the most important thing is getting to first and stay in first for about half a lap, and then usually you gain enough distance that you can coast the rest of the way. Hey, Vesper. Yeah, I heard that too. It was a little achy. Nothing terrible. I might have lost some eye cells or something. But I didn't, like, not take precautions. You bought $30 Eclipse glasses. I just wore sunglasses over top my swim goggles, which were sun polarized in the first place. See, the oil there, it just, the whole sign is gone, and I assume it's done, and then immediately the oil appears. Stupid oil. I tried taking some pictures, and they looked awful with my phone. And I was like, this is pointless. Actually, thinking about it, it's starting to make my eyes hurt. Hey, Nim, thank you for the good luck. I'm just showing a VOD from earlier. I tried to stream this early and, you know, stream live attempts, and I got really mad because the computer AI will just ram you and wreck both of us, but they don't get the damage that I get. So it's very unfair, and it doesn't make any sense, like, logistically. I play games where, you know, cars will try to block you, but no, these cars will literally ram you from the side. They're not even trying to block you. They just want you to be, they want you both to be dead. They want you to be dead, and they want to be dead too. Well, you know, Vesper, I read an article talking about how there are a lot of fake Eclipse glasses, and I'm just kidding. I wouldn't, if I saw an article like that, I wouldn't bother reading it. Alright, so we're at 30 points. Again, my goal is like 62. Theoretically, I should be able to win on 60, but we're gonna not do Canada, which is kind of sad because Canada is actually the shortest race in the game. So you can save a bunch of time doing it, but I can't pass people reliably in this course at all. Most of the courses I pick have pretty good straightaways near the start, where I can get rid of the trash cars, because I'm not going to hit them on the straightaway, I'm going to hit them on turns. So I've chose not to do Canada. Both Nescar and Tobin do it, though. You know, I missed that, Dave. Is this what Canada looks like, by the way? They do try to tailor the geography to the location. Yeah. You could probably guess where this was if it didn't say on screen. Hey, it's Mexico! So let's put in a ziggurat on a giant hill off in the distance. I'm sure this is what Mexico is like. Oh man. I got... It's probably a little bit debated here on my part, but I was actually doing some political talk on stream about Canada, because I came across a YouTuber who was talking about how he believes the entire western part of Canada is going to secede and either make their own country or their own countries or join the US, which they're not going to join the US. The US will not vote for that, because that would be like declaring war against Canada. Oh, I didn't actually break it. I got mad and threw it on the ground, though, and one of my bumpers popped off, but I put it back on. It also slightly came apart on the side, but it wouldn't completely come apart unless it broke. So we're doing Mexico. This is a course where I'm hoping to get second. Unlike the previous courses I did, we can't qualify very well, so we have to pass a lot more trash cars. But one of the nice things about Mexico is it has really long straightaways, so it's a little bit easier / safer to do that. Like, I had to slow down a little bit for that guy, but then he made a path appear, and I got past him. Yeah, it's a nice, it's a ziggurat. That's what I think it is, at least. But yeah, I kept watching this guy, and he was just talking about, like, Alberta's doing... their PM is doing this, and they're serious this time, and all these things, and my big words and my small confusing words. And I was like, wow, is this real? And then I looked and I saw that they were releasing a video about this every day. And then I got recommended other channels that had the exact same, like, look, but different people talking about the exact same things, and they were using the same thumbnail style. And I'm like, okay, this doesn't feel like it's an actual thing. This feels like a psyop. So now I don't think that that's actually... It would be one thing if it was the same guy, but it wasn't. Or at least it wasn't the same guy, like, doing the voiceovers, and on one of them the guy showed himself, and on the other ones they didn't show themselves. But they were like women voices in one, and then another guy's voice that was obviously not his voice. And oof, we are not doing well in Mexico, by the way. Again, this is a race I want to get second in. My general goal is in first after the first lap. It literally says, "Oh dear." I'm just, this is full struggle bus, me not playing well. Some of it's the cars, but like that last one was no excuse. That was just trash. So this is an interesting thing though. I passed that green car, the green flag. Normally that puts me in third, but I'm in fourth, and there are some like random cars, because usually the flags are first, second, third, and then I'm red. But there's another car in the mix somewhere, and I'm not sure where it is. Yeah. Well, I didn't know you lived... Well, I remember Edmonton, but I kind of forgot that it was actually in Alberta, so... Yeah, that's the thing, like... The United States, as much as our president might say things like, you know, provoking Canadians for some reason, and other stuff, it's very, very difficult to get anything approved as a part of the United States because there's too much political tension. Even if, you know, the majority of both sides would want it. Like, we have an issue right now with the District of Columbia that we sort of fixed, but then fixed it wrong. And now we can't really do anything about it because to fix it, you have to fix the fix, and the original fix was way too complicated to undo. Yeah. Well, no, you have to look... I mean, that's the case. Well, you know, what would happen if anything like that happened is it would probably just be taken in as its whole province. Because the population for the province tends to be equal to, like, a fairly low-populated state. At least the ones in the West, you know. You get to Quebec and Ontario, and that would be a different matter. So, oh, and there I wreck, and I'm like, I got hit 3 times by that guy, twice because you can get hit while you're spinning, and then I bumped into him in the back end. And I have it in my head, I'm like, I gotta finish second, because if I don't finish second, I might have to do an extra race, and if I do 8 races, you know, then it's gonna really come down to tight circumstances whether I win this or not. Like, I would like to do 7, but the goal is to do... And there he hits me! Do you see that crap? He literally just swings over, and then he stops in front of me, and I stop, and now I'm down to 4th. The difference between 4th and 3rd isn't a lot, but, you know, 1 point might matter. So, the problem is, I'm in the 3rd level of tire wear, so I'm sliding all over the place now. So my chances of, like, catching up are really bad. Like, I can't stop myself from hitting everything. So Mexico is not going well for me. I'm trying to get around him. We get the nice oops message. I bump him again as I start going. At this point, I know I'm stuck in 4th. And I'm just assuming that we're going to be doing Italy later. But we gold splitted it by 0.08, so... Yeah. Well, that's the thing. There's also a scenario where it could become its own country of some sort, and that's probably more likely. Um, as conservative as Alberta or some other provinces might seem to Canada, they're not terribly conservative compared to American areas. Um, the central line in Canada is a lot more what you would say liberal than conservative. So the Republicans would probably actually oppose it. And of course, there's not like our people are identical too. There'd be a lot to overcome. When Texas joined, Texas is the last. Well, Hawaii sort of, but I think we kind of occupied Hawaii, so it's a little bit differently. But Texas is the last anything like a foreign country that joined us. And there are still tensions with Texans for some reason. Hey RG, thank you for the good luck. Logan Fuser. So we're racing France again. This is one I need to get second in. But the fact that we got fourth in Mexico, I'm hoping to have 34 points, or 36 points at this point, and I have 33. So I always look at France though, and I'm like, I should do better in France than I have. So if we get second here, you know, I do Italy later. It's fine. You know, we're not going to be able to like demolish the world record, but as long as we play well, we should be able to get around a 115, and hopefully we'll do well enough to do it. That's my thinking at this point, though. France is a race again. Tobin did races 3 through 9. NASCAR does 4 through 7, and then 9 and 10. And then they both do 12, 15, and 16. My list is 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 12, 13, 14. So it's actually quite different than theirs, but it's because the longer races are just easier to win. Are they? I think they're just who made the game. I see why you say that. I think they're just the ones who made the game. Had to put their own advertisement in somewhere. You got the nice French flag on top of that one building. You got a lot of trees. You can tell this is an older game because there aren't mosques everywhere. I can't get past this yellow car. I'm playing it really safe, though. There we go. He gave me an opportunity. And of course, the Eiffel Tower. I forget what that place is with all the flags. I forget what the name of that place is. But hey, I'm in second. This is my goal. I got 2 laps. I'm feeling pretty good about this. We got giant straightaways. I am right next to first place here. I get this giant straightaway coming up. Like, yeah, suck it, blue car. And we're in first. The actual company who made this game is like Square 3 or something, and they show right when you start a track, there's something that floats across the top of the screen, off of the screen, and that is the name of the company that made this. Yeah, we are in first, and as long as I don't blow it, I haven't taken much damage at all. Most of these turns are going just fine. Here's one of the more normal songs. Like, this song, actually, when I hear it, it makes me think of Mass Effect, and I'm not sure why. But, again, I'm talking about, you know, we flip out Belgium for Italy. We're going to save in a minute, and that puts us around 117. And then I think, well, if I just drive better and do things better, we should be able to get the other 2 minutes I need. Which is to hit that. Well, not even 2 minutes, but 1:15:49. I might be able to beat it. And my opinion of this game is that if I get the world record, I'm probably done with it forever. Let me hit the oil. Like, if you get a really good game like this, it can kind of sell me on wanting to go back to it and play it, all the time. Like Super Monaco GP, I still play that game so much. I still want to. Oh yeah, BioWare, before EA ruined them. Although it took EA a while to ruin BioWare. They were a little bit more intransigent. They were able to produce some winners under EA. EA ruins anything and everything they touch. You have Madden and some other sports stuff, and that's it. And they're not even generally considered to be great games. They're just no competition. You want to play sports games, might as well play Madden as long as it doesn't actively suck to play. Like, I think the 2K Live series actually got to the point, the basketball ones, where it like snapped and nobody wanted to play them because they were that bad, and they actually had to improve stuff. Ruined Battlefield. I mean, it's inevitable. And look at this split. This was super good. I roasted France. I'm feeling really good. We're not going to do the next 4 races. So what you're going to see me do is, race seriously and then probably downshift near the end. Britain, well-known helicopter place. In this game, they're not great. They're just Britain. Well, really, the way they describe them, it's always like the American Grand Prix, the Brazilian Grand Prix, and this is the British Grand Prix. And I didn't feel like writing all that out. So again, Britain is the second quickest track, and I don't do it. And there we go. If you don't qualify, in the qualifying times, I have to hit her on the left, next to the names, goes down. And I saved 4 seconds. Like, all of this time could matter quite a bit, the way we're doing this. Classic British helicopter gov init mate. So this is apparently what Germany looks like. There's a bunch of trees. Look, more trees. Oh, there's a little less trees. No, we're back to the more trees. Also, I figured out the backgrounds are semi-randomized. And they don't even stick lap to lap. Like, how much scrolls changes slightly. Because I tried using the background to, like, indicate when turns were going to end. Because I don't hug the turns in this because the turns end so fast, and if you do, you'll just fly off the track. This is all that exists in Germany are trees. But see, there's no buildings in Germany. There are only skyscrapers in Canada, not in Germany. And I slowed down because I felt like I was going to finish by accident. And we failed to qualify. I accidentally split for Hungary. I'll figure that out at some point and undo it. There it is. So we gave 2 seconds back. I'm pretty sure I just split weird, either in my PB or probably in my PB before this. So thankfully, we're not racing the song with the 5-second loop. Here's Hungary. Hungary has some very distant buildings with trees and a hill. I wrecked him. If this were an actual course that I was planning on qualifying on, I'd be really irritated. But it's not. We got those hills. Look at that tower. We got that giant building back there. I don't have to slow down a whole lot here because I've been off the track a few times, and I still do. And so that's like 2 seconds I could have saved. And I look at my points right there. I'm winning by 5 right now. I got 43. Second place, that's 38. I should have checked after Belgium, but I think in my head I was still considering doing Belgium, so... the splits are going to look a little weird after this. Because I'm going to skip Belgium, which means I'm going to shave, like, 7 minutes. Belgium just has giant hills full of indiscernible trees. Which is strange, because I'm pretty sure Belgium is like the Netherlands, and that half of their land is just swamp. Like, drained swamp. Lowlands, like, almost at sea level. I'm sure that's not true, because Belgium kind of digs into the land a little bit more than the Netherlands does, but... Every Belgian streamer that I've seen, and I haven't seen a lot, but every one of them speaks French and not Dutch. So now we're doing Italy. And I'm actually going to do Italy, so that giant time save is going to disappear. And Italy has some Italy things in it. Italy definitely has some real big mountains. You know, more towards the north, but... I think once we turn here, we'll see the more obvious Italy things. Hey, look, there's a leaning tower and a Colosseum that's bigger than the tower. Oh. So I've, in the past, junked Italy as an option because I can't finish really well in it, but I just need some compensation in the points. Even though I won France and I'm at 43 and my goal was to get 42, I don't feel comfortable because that second place guy is pretty close. So I'm trying to get some more points here. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm getting a lot of cigarette smoke coming into the apartment, so... I did the only logical thing, and that is to go outside and see if I could see anybody smoking to yell at them. And I didn't, then sprayed some Prix. Oh, it's good I'm doing this chorus when it has this 5-second loop of a song again. But hey, look, I'm in Italy and we're on the second lap, and I have briefly passed 4th place, so I'm actually doing really well in this. Again, Italy is like the other courses where I don't... There's just a few of them that, for whatever reason, you can qualify a lot higher in. And I don't mean that in, like, as in... if I were a little bit better, like... I wrote down the qualifying times for Tobin, Joseph H. Tobin Jr. and NESCAR, and they are identical, with one small exception where Tobin actually qualified 1/10 faster in Canada. The difference between them, though, is that I'm not doing manual shifting. So I can go, like, 10 miles faster an hour, which helps me get past these people a little bit. It makes the game a bit easier, but when you wreck people, or when you spin out and wreck, it's a little bit harder. You don't start as fast, and you have to actually shift gears sometimes. So. I'm perfectly happy with 2nd place here if that happens, but we got plenty of time. Look at this nice straightaway there, passing, getting into 1st place. And if we get this, we'll have 53 points. And my goal is 62. If I can win. But I will tell you, I'm going to be looking right at that. The delta there, that's rolling down from 8 minutes to 4 something now, to see when I finish and see what that gap is. Because I want to 100%. I want to be on pace to win overall, both in points and in time over NESCAR. So, and the problem is the longest 2 races are after this, even though I'm running against my own splits. And I didn't do terribly well. I think I finished 3rd in Portugal and 2nd in Spain. For what it's worth, I was 4th in Belgium when I did it in my PB, 4th in France, 3rd in Mexico, and 3rd in Monaco. Oh yeah. And I had the volume turned all the way down so I wasn't getting annoyed by this 5-second jingle that's playing. Oh, I ran right over the oil there, but I let off the gas when I did it, so I didn't spin. At least I think that's what happens. It's also possible if I go straight over it, my tires don't hit it. I'm not sure which is which, but... This is the last lap, and I need to save about 2.5 minutes. I know I got a little bit of time save on the back end that I can do faster in Portugal and Spain. But, you know, at this point, we're on pace to get it. I say I have a 5-point lead. Spain is one of the easier courses for me to win. It might actually be the easiest course for me in the game, even though I didn't, you know, win it when I did this run yesterday. Not this one on screen, but the one that's in the splits. So I gotta think, like, how high is this computer guy going to get to me? I'm at 53, he's at 48. I got 4 races left. There's one of them I'm counting on myself to win. And if things go bad, I'm looking at Australia at a 103. even if I'm not good at the course, it's short. So if I were to like flip out Portugal for Australia, and I win the points, that is enough to get me a win. So, like, I'm thinking about this while I'm doing this. Like, how aggressive do I want to be here? Because I'm on pace. If I win Portugal, if I win Spain, to break the world record and get 73 points. Right now I'm at 53. I don't think I need 73, so I decide, you know what? Let's roll the dice on this hour-long run. I'm 1 point ahead of him. Going into Spain. This is pretty much a must-win. And now I'm 11 minutes ahead because I skipped the second longest course in the game. But, like I said, my goal was to only do 7 tracks. Because I won Italy, I wasn't sure I needed to do another one, so we skipped Portugal. If I don't win Spain, I might feel really bad, but I've been racing really well. I feel pretty good about things. Let's just go ahead and wing it. So it wound up starting out with me doing Italy instead of Belgium, and then it wound up me skipping Belgium and doing Italy instead of Portugal. But I'm playing it, like, again, 1 point lead, 3 races to go. If I get 10, you know, I don't know what he's gonna get. I can't... After this, I can only do 1 more race. So I think I have it in my head to skip Japan no matter what happens, because I don't want to, I would rather take the risk, I think, of not getting enough points and the computer winning than to just take an extra run and forfeit the chance at a world record. But yeah, Spain, you start out pretty high again. I don't think I qualified. No, I think that was a good qualifying time. It wasn't bad, but when I say good or bad, I'm talking about like tenths of a second. But like, we're 6th already, man. We're doing great. 5th. Once you get up to 4th, that's where it kind of plateaus. And so I'm thinking in my head, I just gotta be... This is the first lap, just be patient. Don't press passing these guys. And then the 3rd place, the 2nd place car, both didn't provide any opposition whatsoever. By the way, this is Spain. Oh look, there went 1st place. Didn't try to block me at all. So I'm in 1st place in the longest, but also possibly the easiest race to win, at least for me, and it's feeling pretty good. I got a lot of time to think about the strategy from here on out, and I decided I'm just going to check the points, and if I have to, we'll do Australia, and hope that it is enough, and just race really well here to shave a bunch of time off of that 9:37, which is kind of an ugly split. So even if I have to, you know, do Australia, don't necessarily do that well, but it's enough points, then should be good. But I'm recording this to post up on YouTube with the commentary instead of posting it with nothing. Or else I would just maybe fast forward from this, because this is not... I could blow this, but I'm going to spoil it slightly in that I don't blow this. At least this course. Although it looks like I'm trying to. Flying off the track and hitting stuff. I mentioned before, when I do Super Monaco GP, which chronologically actually comes before this game, even though this is an NES game and that is a Sega Genesis / Mega Drive game. But the rosters and the stuff come from that. And so their Spain track is different than this Spain track. I swore this was actually Portugal, and they did it wrong when I was looking at F1 Sensation, and then I realized, wait, no. And then I went to play Super Monaco GP, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't even close to the same track. Continuing to race poorly, though. Flying off the track. I just need to race safe, and we have no problems, and I keep flying off the side and hitting stuff. That was oil on turn. I don't feel like I screwed that up too much. Who is they? Who has this abomination, Vesper? Who is they? Tombstone and Walmart? Okay. I wouldn't think about French fries with pizza. It's not usually a combo you see. But I mean, it's just potatoes, right? So if we do and finish and win this, we'll be at 63. Again, Tobin won at 54, NASCAR won at 53. Tobin won by 2 points, NASCAR by 3. We have a 1 point lead going into this. I'm pretty sure I don't check after this race, because I have it in my head that there's no way I'll do Japan, because if I have to do 2 more courses, again, we're no longer eligible to get a world record. There's no way we could go fast enough in them to do it. And I'm not willing to sacrifice that chance just to finish a run. But I also have in my head that the RNG of the computer is just going to be mostly outside of my control. The only way you can tell where the drivers are is to wait for them to scroll down in qualifying after you qualify. So I've been thinking about this too, and I'm like, well, what if I just qualify in a race, and like on the last race, if the guy doesn't qualify particularly high, I'll just, you know, get kicked out of the race real quick, because you guys noticed on the radio line there at the bottom, like it says position limit 13. Like a lot of racing games at the time, if you fall behind that position, you're just out, the race is over. That was an arcade trope to, you know, make you keep forking over quarters and keep doing the stuff instead of just finishing the race. So you couldn't, like, get good enough at it without throwing extra money at it, because you couldn't practice it. Like, I could do that, and it would cost, like, an extra minute, 2 minutes. But it could be a way of, you know, because if the guy qualifies really high, then I'd have to beat him. But the other problem I would have is if it's particularly tight in Australia, like, how high am I going to finish? Am I gonna win with no practice and having no success in that level at all in the past? So we shaved 27 seconds. We got Japan. I did not see what my lead was. I did actually pause long enough, but I don't remember it. Japan has a couple of nice straightaways, but it's got too many turns early on, which makes me not want to do it. Early straightaways are really nice because you can just pass a bunch of the trash cars. And this is apparently what Japan looks like. It's got some mountains. It's got some very nondescript, almost round-looking buildings. Some flags on top of the stands. Really not a lot going on for Japan here. Which island nation is larger by their main holdings geography, like their actual main islands? England? Excuse me, the United Kingdom or Japan? I think it's Japan. Alright, here we slow down again a little too long, but we skip it. And we have a 7-point lead. So if Sessions wins this, and I don't race it, he'll win. If he finishes second, and I don't race it, I win. And I'm thinking pretty hard about this. I'm looking at that nice minus 11 on the timer. And, maybe getting a little excited that we could just, you know, let's just take a chance he doesn't win. He would have to win. And if he won, I would have to finish 4th or higher to get enough points to block him from taking, because if we tied, no, I'd have to finish 3rd or higher. And I decided, you know what? We're just going to roll the dice. We're going to assume he doesn't win the race. So we failed the qualifying. And he finished second. So we beat him by 1 point. 11-minute world record. I'm going to start talking here in a second in the game, so I'm going to mute myself so that I don't talk over myself. And that is how it is done. Oh my god. Whew. I did better than I thought I would. I planned for 62 points, and I got 63. Won Italy. I hadn't done it before. And for some reason, the computer is right on my heels. 1 point behind. Oh. Love it. This is beatable, definitely. Ideally, you can do only 6 races and win them all, and I won 6 races. But if I wouldn't have done the other one, we would have lost. The RNG of the computer finishing is, I don't think you can do less than 7 races and have anything except for just pure luck decide. But there we go. That is a world record by about 9 minutes. And, you know, I rage quit this on stream a few minutes, well, not a few minutes ago, it was about 3 hours ago. And even banned somebody who was being a jerk. And there we go. We got it. He was right. I just had to get good. We did. That's it. That was the run. Again, thanks. Goodness, what was this? September 26, 2025. We did this.